Me, can you hear me? I don't see anyone in here yet, but I've been hanging out. My son took me out for Mother's Day dinner, and I was trying to tape several times, like to go live and to show you I was out. And it was really hot today, but it was really pretty. And I was glad to be out, but it wouldn't upload. It had a lot of technical problems today. Oh, thank you. Thank you, my babies. Thank you, my sweethearts. I don't see the chat opening, so I don't know what's wrong with it, but I kept trying to upload for you today, and some people were in the live, and then and then it kept cutting me off, cutting me on, cutting me off, cutting me on. Said it had a connection problem. I need the hearts right now. I love them. Hi. Oh my God. I don't want to butcher that name, but it's a pretty name. Z. Zanita 113, Meek Scott, Norman Harrison. Thank you. Happy Mother's Day. I don't even know the year. It's been so long, over 10 years since I saw my son, and I didn't celebrate a Mother's Day. He put it on his Instagram page. I didn't really eat anything special. I didn't ask for anything special. I wasn't that hungry. What I've been going through, I hadn't been hungry in the past few days. Make sure I can sit. But I wanted to, come talk to you again. Turn the light that way. I don't want it to be too bright on me. Because you can still see me. If I turn the light away. And that's better. And I had the light from the kitchen until I get some lighting done in here. This has been very difficult for me, as you know, dealing with someone I trusted as my assistant that stole my money, was stealing the whole time. And as I said earlier, because I want to address a comment someone made, I blocked them and erased it because I'm not going to do the back and forth with an individual that comes on my page. I don't owe you anything. You haven't done anything for me. You don't take care of me. And I'm sure it's someone who never donated and doesn't support me in the work that I do. It's very, very difficult, especially when I was so sick and had a lot of physical problems and a lot of leaks in here that then dealing with the black mold that basically fucked up so many different systems in my body and fucked up my skin. I'm still having issues and learning how to, clearly I must not have gotten all the stuff out of my skin, especially since I still live here. I got it tested. I don't know if I got rid of all the mold. I'm constantly doing what I can to stop the leaks, but it could still be somewhere, and I haven't fixed it all yet. You said, how are you feeling today? I'm okay, John from Brooklyn. It's such a pleasure to meet you, King. Thank you. I need all the prayer and blessing I can get, especially dealing with the police situation and filing the case with Mina Crowley stealing my money and then calling the health insurance company, pretending to be me, trying to talk like me to steal money back and telling the bank she didn't know who I was. She didn't know who the company was, and she wanted her money back. They gave a charge back, and then she used her brother's account, and she's the payee over him for his Social Security check in Chicago, and he's mentally retarded. He's almost 40 years old, mentally retarded. But he's not that retarded because he told her mother just died last year, and I was with her during that process. And just giving from my heart like I've done with so many people that have fucked me over. And that's why at this point, which is why I did the show, and I'm going to get into this with you. Her brother told her he'd rather be with his dead mother than live with her. So if she is constantly saying filthy things about me and trying to create problems for me to cover up the fact, but she didn't tell y'all, out of all the stuff she's telling, she didn't tell y'all she stole my money. And my son even just now told me that when she was sending him money in prison, he could see that some of it was sent from my Cash App. I didn't know that because I told her, either you're going to be my assistant or you're going to fuck my son. You can't do both. I know this is not going to work out. Oh, no. I said, then you'll turn on me. No, I would never do that. I said, no, either quit being my assistant and go fuck him, or be my assistant and leave him alone. But I can tell you cannot objectively do both, because you tried to control him. And most men, you cannot control them unless they're weak. If they're not strong-willed and they don't even know each other, ain't even met. They were talking on the phone a lot. They were doing video chat in real time. That's how I know that this is a real person named William Crowley. I knew it wasn't going to work out. Especially anybody. It's not just me. Anytime you try to work for someone or with a company and you want to date the boss's son or daughter, it's not a good idea. That's why I don't date any neighbors. I don't care if it's a freestanding house in a subdivision or it's an apartment, a condo, whatever. That's one of my rules. I don't date neighbors, especially if y'all got to go back and forth and see each other after you broke up. You can see what's going on in their house. They can see what's going on in your house. You fucking someone else. You're dating someone else. You're not meeting them. And to either fuck your employer or fuck one of your employer's kids. It can work out. I'm not saying that it can't. I'm just saying usually it doesn't. And I was highly against it. But they were both so dead set on this. Thank you, babies. Yes, Thomas. And they said that this is going to work and everything's going to be fine. And oh, thank you, Thomas. You like the way I talk about penis? Oh, okay. Well, sexuality is a very natural thing. And even God said in the Bible, I think it's in Genesis, that you're supposed to multiply the earth. He created Adam and Eve, and the Bible says they were naked and they had a penis and a vagina and they had sex. And I have to remember, I don't want to misquote, y'all can correct me. I don't think at the time they were supposed to do that, or God didn't want them to do that. They didn't even have a knowledge of good and evil. They didn't know they were naked. God knew that one of them had been seduced by Satan because they knew that they were naked and they knew that they had different body parts. And I don't know why, but I guess God didn't want them to know yet. And Satan seduced Eve into eating off of the tree of knowledge. So I don't know if that was an actual physical tree with physical apples or what, like they're telling us. It could have been another tree. That Jesus made it clear. Many will know a lot about stars, clouds, and the sky. Well, I don't agree that people won't understand the truth. It's a lot of people that God speak to and give them wisdom. Yep, they felt shame and they didn't even know the feeling of shame. There's a lot of wise people and preachers and prophets here that God have given them discernment, and they do know because God has broken it down to them. They have wisdom and they have a spirit of discernment. So I don't agree with you on that, because I've heard it's a lot of them that speak on YouTube that break these biblical principles down metaphysically, numerology, astrology. And they're deeply tapped in. God gave them insight. So I'm not going to even get into, that's one thing I don't do. I don't argue about politics, and I don't argue about people's religion, and I don't judge people for what they believe in. But to say nobody can know the knowledge and, people don't know. See, I don't agree with that part, but I ain't going to even argue with you about that. Just take that somewhere else, because I know there are a lot of really spiritual gifted people on this planet that God reveals things to. What was I saying? God, I'm sorry. I lost my train of thought because I was talking about a couple of things. Oh, yes, when he addressed me, and I was talking about, he said he liked the way I said penis, and I know I'm a little country. I say penis, but I'll say penis, the getaway. Okay. But it is a natural part of life, and I know that I grew up, my mother's a preacher, and, she had her own church. And I knew she dealt with a lot of sexism and people wanting to control her in the church. And she also dealt with, it was Christian based, but she also dealt with the metaphysical side of the Bible. And a lot of people are taught that and see that a lot of it is not literal, it's metaphysical and spiritual. And it's always been frowned upon in the South excuse me, in the Bible Belt, that sex and the church don't go together, but they have to go together. Because let's say we were taught no sex before marriage, but you're still having sex. You're just having sex with a marriage contract and based on a religious premise, but it's still going to lead to sexual intercourse. So how could what I say and what I teach, that you should be celibate, you shouldn't be promiscuous, sex is spiritual, the Spirit of God moves through you and moves through your sex organs and created them as beautiful and divine. And you were made to have children and have pleasure with your husband and your wife and produce children to multiply the planet. If we didn't have sex, we really couldn't manifest the will of God, because there would be no human beings here if we didn't have them and multiply, even if it's under based on religious purposes, a certain type of wedding, a certain type of vows, certain type of beliefs, whether it's the Bible, whether it's Quran or some other principle. I don't really care about that. Not my business. But it still leads to the same thing. Penis and vagina. And I don't see how it's nasty in the eyes of God. You said the 9 houses of healing energy. I like that name. It's Alexis, maybe the person that keeps contacting the police is the same woman. Oh, we've already thought that, baby. Thank you. You said if God had allowed allowed cigarettes in the Garden of Eden, make sure we have been cheated. Or weed. Thank you. That's a good point. No, you're right. The House of Healing. When I had to go last night, I had someone to read it, and that's exactly what they said. We know it's her. And some females that don't like me. It's actually some males that came up in it, some kings. So some people in authority or spiritual authority and power, or maybe higher up in positions of power that don't like me. People that y'all know me. I don't go around bothering people, but I'm still disliked by a lot of people that want to get rid of me, don't want me doing my readings, don't want me to do my teaching, don't want me to be on YouTube, really want to erase me. They want me dead and don't want me sharing my knowledge from my point of view, the way it was given to me. But they want to be seen. They want to be known. They want to teach their principles and beliefs. But you know what? I've always had this issue, and I'm just, this bothers me a lot, and I know y'all know it bothers me a lot. I didn't know you loved me that much, because nobody said anything. Everybody was quiet. One lady sent me a letter that she sent to DeKalb County Police, and it was not vulgar. There were no threats in the letter. It was eloquently written, and you could tell it was a person of sound mind, stable emotions, and very, very intelligent. And she said she didn't like the way that I was treated, and she asked them to please help me and to give me another detective. And they did contact me. They responded. I didn't say anything. And I talked to my attorney, and they said to me, well, they don't like you. And you know that you're probably high up on their list as someone that is an antagonistic that causes them a problem. So I just said, I'm not going to contact them. I don't want to be seen as a problem. I don't want to be seen as antagonistic. I've had issues with people stalking me, just like the lady did a couple of years ago. And I asked everybody to call and send your evidence to prove the lady was doing it, because every time the police came, they usually come 2 or 3 hours after she left. And I kept telling them what she was doing. I'm not saying they didn't want to find her, but at the time I didn't know her address. And they didn't know which address was hers. And they said, don't worry, we're going to find her. We're going to find her. And I kept looking too. So I found it, which one it was. I think it was 2 addresses. And so they didn't really know which one. So I had to do the legwork like I've been doing in this case. And I was never accused. The police never accused me harassing or threatening them. But in this time, they did. And it's like the person said they're the 9 houses of healing energy. I love that name. What do you do? What type of, I'm sure you have in the healing business to call yourself that name. I love it. When I spoke to the person that looked at this last night, they said it was her. The one that stole my money and that was attacking me. They called in and act like they were a supporter of mine, but threatened and said it was more than one female and a male. They wanted to get me arrested and they wanted me killed. And it was really funny when I'm going to say this, but I don't have any proof. I assumed the 2 sergeants were white that were on the phone. They sounded like it, even though it was kind of Southern white, and just the tone and inflections. And they were extremely angry with me. And they were sergeants, so I know they're high up and they have the power to do what they want to do. And the first white sergeant called me at 8. I couldn't get his attention before this. They every time I called, they brushed me off. Not him. I never talked to him. I didn't know his name. The people that could let me speak to him, they said they were going to leave a message. They were going to have me call him. They were going to have him call me. Never got a call. Kept brushing me off. He's not here. Every time I call, he's not here. She's not here. They're busy. And I said, I don't like the way I'm talked to. I don't like the way it feels. And I would request someone else. And they said, that's probably not going to happen. You're not going to get anybody else. And that's the only way that's the only reason I asked you to help me in showing the evidence. I never said, and y'all know I never said it, and the police know I never said it, to go threaten to do harm to a law enforcement official. Do you think I'm stupid? I would never encourage somebody to be a cop killer. It's still me being, it's like I did it by telling somebody to do it. If they do it and find out I'm a co-conspirator of the shit, I could end up losing my freedom for the rest of my fucking life. I would never, I didn't want that detective harassed. I didn't want somebody to get in her personal email, and I don't know what was said. They wouldn't tell me, but they just said they did this all day yesterday. And I really don't believe those are my fans that love me and support me and that donated to my Cash App that Mina controlled, refused to give me the password to put my ID or my bank account or my address on, was stealing money out of. I really don't think that, because they filed complaints for me before, and this was never said by anybody in law enforcement at the courthouse that somebody gave them a certain day and a certain hour, or there were going to be consequences. So I don't believe the people that really donated to me and supported me. I think it's what this person said, from the 9 houses of healing energy. They were trying to set me up to make it look like they were a supporter and that I told them to do it to try to get me locked up and killed. And when the second sergeant came on the phone, he had lost it with me. He was through with me. Screaming. Everything he said to me, he was so hot with me. He was just over me. It's like, I don't know you. And now that you're on my radar, I know everything about you. I know all your pages. He started naming the pages. And he said, it better come down now. Make it stop now. Make them stop. And I said, what's going on? He said, they've been blowing up the phones. They blowing up the emails. They even calling other departments and blowing up every number of every department they can. That has nothing to do with this. They blowing it up. I didn't know, because I hadn't heard anything. Nobody emailed me. Nobody texted me. Nobody called me. So I thought nobody called and nobody complained. Boy, I think they wanted to beat my ass at that point, because of so much that they said they have been flooding the phones all day and all night. I don't know how big the complex is that they call it, because there's more than one DeKalb County Police Division. I know this is East, but it's not like it's a country town with one little room as a police department. It must have been a lot of people, because he was a beast. I mean, totally enraged with me, as if I did this on purpose. Then he mentioned the threats. I said, I'll give you my email. Can I see the threats? No, you're not going to see the threats until I lock you up. And then when you get out, you'll get to see the report later. I'm like, lock me up? What did I do? He's like, you told them to harass us and threaten. I said, whoa, Sergeant, I did not. I would not. I don't, this is the first time I'm hearing it. I didn't say that. You can listen to my YouTube right now. You know, and I know. If I erase something trying to hide it, YouTube will just retrieve it. So you don't really erase anything on YouTube, probably the other sites either. Please listen to my video. I didn't even take it down. I just put it on private. Now I took it down. They did not tell me. Everything else I said is what I told the officers about Mina Crowley stealing my money. They have no issue with that. The other stuff is what they had the issue with. And then they said, I told people to threaten them and harass them. I did not. If y'all heard that live, I was told I better take that down or they was going to have feet and legs in my ass. I mean, not literally, but as far as like jacking my ass up. And he said I had 2 hours or I was going to get jacked up. Not beaten. I mean, like locked up. They're going to jack me up. And I was leaving my house. This was yesterday about 10 o'clock in the morning. The first sergeant called me at 8. I didn't know he knew my name and my number because I had been leaving messages and nobody called me. Nobody responded. He said the same thing. Oh, we've been watching you. We saw you last night. And I'm like, so you know me? Oh, yeah. And we know you have a lot of support. They have been flooding our phone lines. And would you like... You must want some legal problems. Is that what you want? And I said, Sergeant, I don't. Did I break the law already? Am I in trouble? He said, no, but at the rate you're going, you're headed for it. You're attacking my detective. You told everybody else to attack them, the threats, the insults. I didn't do that. That's not why I told him to call. I don't want that action from y'all. I do not want that action. That was not the intention. I was just trying to get help to investigate my case because I know you don't take my case seriously. And that's all I asked him to do, to ask the detective to please look at my case and please investigate my case before you say we don't have enough, or just hold it and don't look at it. That's all, and show receipts that you gave this lady money in my Cash App that she hijacked and was stealing. That's all. And they said, oh, no. This has gone somewhere else. That's not what they're saying. They are blowing up her phone, blowing up her email, blowing up my phone, blowing up my email. And then you better make it stop. As soon as we hang up this phone, you better make that happen. I complied. I started erasing the stuff. I put the video on private because I'm not trying to have that type of action. Because I know there's nothing I can do about it. They lock me up and they say that you told somebody to threaten us. I got to fight my way out of that. And even if I get found not guilty, because I know I never said it, I never printed it. There's no phone call. There's no text message. If they catch the person that did it and they interrogate them, they will not be able to find any phone, any text, any email, any physical connection, because I don't know who it is. And I never told anybody to do no stupid shit like that, to attack or threaten someone in law enforcement. I know better, and I respect the police. I respect any level of law enforcement. I don't have a problem with DeKalb County. I mean, yes, my son has had a lot of issues with them. And Eva was beaten mercifully almost to death by a white police officer. And I had to deal with the heartbreak and the pain of that. But even with that, that would have been a perfect time to do it and ask someone to do and call them out. I did ask for justice. I asked for an investigation. Well, you know, a lot of times they don't investigate their own. And that person that did it is just like that lady that the officer, the white officer that shot the black lady, last year in another state. They're going to cover it up and they just move the people around. I let that go. I didn't tell anybody to go do nothing to the officer. And my son's face was really fucked up. We didn't think he'd ever be normal again. And my son didn't even resist him. He's standing there. He cannot fight back. And he's much bigger than my son. And it's a Nigerian, a black person, a black policeman standing there laughing. And the only way we knew what happened to him is because his cousin was there and it was raining, and he ran home to tell my grandmother. Yes, he was drinking, but he didn't fight the officer. He just started beating the shit out of my son. He kicked him in his face. And if you see that little cut on his lip, that's where it came from. My son's lip was cut in 3 pieces. His eye, that skin, he tore it open. My son's face was hanging down here. They took him to Grady, and then the white officer said, "What happened to you? Because I don't know what happened to you." My son is basically not able to remember anything. He doesn't even know this police attacked him. That's how dirty he did him. And my son gets out. They let him out on bond. We paid the bond. And he's saying, "Mama, somebody hit me and beat me up." And the white officer and the black one actually took me to Grady. I said, "Chris, we know what happened. You can't remember." Because he had really bad concussions. I said, "The white officer did you dirty like that." While the black one laughed and then takes him to get sewn up, tries to tell the police, tell the doctor there that my son did something to deserve it. Officer had the body cam. To this day, I haven't seen the body cam. This was like 2013, 2014. But he wanted the doctor to believe him. And one thing my son said, when the doctor, it was a foreign doctor, the doctor got my son by himself, and he must have been intuitive or something. He said, "Did that police do that to you?" My son didn't remember because he had kicked him in his face, his mouth, his head, and his face was a bloody mess with flesh hanging everywhere. He said, my son said, he asked the doctor, "Can I see a mirror?" He said, "Oh, no, I can't let you see your face because your face up here is hanging down here. Your lip is dangling in 3 pieces. And you might go into shock if you see what I see. Let me put it together first." He said, no, let me see it. My son's strong. He looked at it. He's like, "Mom, I couldn't believe what I saw. My lip was dangling all over the place in 3 big chunks." I'm just saying that to say, I didn't tell my fans to call down. I didn't tell them to threaten anybody with that. And a mother seeing that, and your child almost had his brains kicked out by a police that's heavy and muscular, weighs about 150 pounds more, much bigger, much force. And they were laughing about this, kicking and stomping him. Internal Affairs wouldn't even investigate it. And I know he had to have done it before because I started investigating and I heard stories. Him and this other older white police, the drug dealer, said he had been setting them up for years, stopping them, taking their dope off of them, taking their money off of them, and they would beat them up and get away with it. I didn't do anything. Once we filed the complaint, we did speak to an attorney, and the attorney read the police report, and the attorney says, we had a couple of them look at it, and they said, "We know what they are taught in school. This is a staged police report." And then we had a witness, so we know what they said happened. He resisted. He tried to hit me. We know that didn't happen. I had to live with that and accept that. Never said, "Go kill this man, go harass this man, go hurt this man." And that would have been a period any person would have felt rage. Any mother and the father and the family seeing that, and you had a witness to know that your son did not resist, and they just took all this stuff out of him because they know he couldn't fight back. Then he said, it was raining that night. He was doing this to him in the rain. I was out of town. And he said, in between beating and stomping my son, he would then pull his gun out really fast and said, "Ooh, I ought to blow your brains out. I want to shoot you right now, blow your fucking brains out." And the black police is standing there, and it's funny. It's funny. I literally cried every day and cried myself to sleep for like weeks behind that. and seeing my son's face. And I had to tell him, and his cousin had to tell him, no, he did it to you. He took you to the hospital and patched you up, but he did it. And he told you he didn't know who did it. And he was saying, yeah, what happened to you, man? No, I'm taking you to get care. And he did it to him. And then they wrote a false report. I did not tell y'all to call about that or anything. We made it public, but this didn't happen that time. This didn't happen 2 years ago when the lady was stalking me and threatened to kill me and had to get a restraining order. See, that's why I'm saying that to say I agree with you. 9 houses of healing energy. This wasn't one of my supporters that did that. This was her. And some other people that don't like me that threatened them and then use my name, because that's not what I'm about. That's not what I do. I never said it. I never put it in print. I never put a post saying anything like that. There's no emails, nobody. And I wish you'd come forward if I'm lying. Nobody can come forward and say I told him to do that. I don't know who it is, but the police, they know everything. They can find it out. They can see if they can connect me to that. I ain't do that. But they said it doesn't matter. They said you told, anybody could say I told them to threaten the police. That's not me. All the painful thing, and that wasn't the first time my son got beat up by the police. He also got beat up in DeKalb County Jail. All I did was file for complaints. I went to, I don't remember the name of it, but it's like it's a council. It's right next to the police. I forgot the name of it. It's kind of like internal affairs, where they go investigate the situation. They investigate the officer. They investigate all of the witnesses. I don't even want to get into that one, but there was another situation where he wasn't just doing it to my son. He was doing it to other inmates where they beat him like mercilessly, beat them senseless. And when they're wounded, they'll put them in lockdown. And Black women were involved in this too. And then this is not something hearsay. I went through it. And I'm the one that had to go file the report to ask for an investigation. And then they'll put them in lockdown. So if the mother looks for them and the relatives look for them while they really messed up, they'll say, and look, and let me say this. I'm not saying that because I don't think every officer would do that. And I don't think every officer's bad. And I don't think every inmate that get their ass beat in jail or outside is innocent. Please don't get me twisted. Some people deserve it and have it coming based on their behavior. So please don't think I'm saying that. I just knew based on the investigation, what my son said corroborated with the investigators. And they found this person had a history of doing this to different people. And they'll wait till they heal up and then the parents can see them, but they write them up and say they did this, they did that. And once she started talking to inmates and looking at the history and interviewed the officer had to admit it. So I've been through a lot as far as my son. But me personally, and I've seen these stories down here and I'm in different states, and we see it every day with police beating up and putting hands and feet on Black women and mercilessly beating them like dogs. I haven't had that happen, and I pray that I never had it happen to me. That is so degrading and humiliating to stomp someone, a woman. These are men doing this like they are animals and their life means nothing. But I never had any run-ins with them. I don't drive drunk. I don't get disrespectful. I'm not vulgar with them. I always comply with what they tell me to do. That doesn't mean you're safe, but I do what I can to avoid conflict with police or being perceived as being disrespectful. So I personally never had those issues, but I had the heartbreak of seeing it happen to my child, unfortunately, and other people that I know. But I still don't disrespect law enforcement. I don't tell people to do things to them. I don't wish those things, or I don't say, I want to do this. Even with the story I just told you, I still didn't say I want to do this, I want to do that. No. When the officers, it was about 5 deep yesterday, and one of the officers, they asked me my name. It was all men. And they didn't hit me. They didn't tase me. They didn't disrespect me. They didn't scream at me like the 2 sergeants that were on the phone screaming and saying, I'm going to do this to you. I'm going to issue an order for your arrest. You're going to jail today. And I'm just saying, I don't want to go to jail. I didn't threaten him. I didn't tell nobody to threaten him. What do you want me to do? He said, you got 2 hours. Or you getting picked up within the next 2 hours. You're going to tell them to stand down. I didn't even know it was a them. I didn't even know, because nobody had notified me that they were calling and emailing and harassing and threatening. I swear to God, I didn't know anybody did it because nobody told me. I think it's just quiet. And then I'm getting, getting upset because I'm like, y'all didn't send the receipts. Nobody called me and told me. Detective didn't tell me she got more receipts proving that they sent money that was also stolen to help my case. I was going to do a video yesterday and ask, like, did you send the receipts? Because in the past, they were like, Miss Alexis, I sent a receipt. I proved that I also gave money, or here's a letter I wrote, like the young lady sent the letter last night. There was nothing disrespectful in it to the officers. Nothing, no threats, nothing. When they said they didn't like how I was treated, it was still respectful. It was a very well written professional letter. And they did not, because they responded back, they did not say she was disrespectful, I was disrespectful, I put her up to harass them. They just responded to me and said, you can, request a change. I didn't respond. At this point, I don't even know what to say. So I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to be accused of harassing them again. So I'm not going to say anything. But what bothered me, one of the things that bothered me that the police officer said yesterday, he first said, what's your name? What's your birthday? And he was like, are you okay? And I said, yes. He said, somebody called us and told us, which is a lie, that you told them that you were getting ready to commit suicide because you didn't want to go to jail. So when we got here, you're going to be dead. So I never said that. I never said it to myself. I never told another human being that in person. There's nobody here. I never got on the phone and told another individual, I'm getting ready to kill myself because I don't want to be arrested. I don't even know who you're talking about. And see, let me tell you something. When I dealt with the case a couple of years ago when Shannon McGee was harassing me and I had to call the police, and she would come up and film herself saying, you better remember this day, bitch. I have it on my YouTube so you can verify. You remember this day, bitch, because you're a dead bitch. I'm killing you tonight. The same type of calls. They were calling the police. They were calling the DeKalb County Police to come to my house and say, oh, they told us you needed a hearse. Oh, they told us you needed an ambulance. Are you sick? Did something happen to you? I mean, crazy shit. See, this is the playbook of gutter bitches. A sticky finger line, thieving, stealing bitches, black bitches. This is what the fuck they do. So they started, and I'm like, have they now teamed up? Because, a lot of times my enemies will team up and now they become friends too. Because what they have in common is trying to destroy me and take me down. I kept getting 911 calls. The police, of course, it's their job to investigate it. Groups of police is in the yard. Did you call? Did you say you need an ambulance? They said you need to be picked up because you're dead and stuff like this. And now I notice the same, and then playing on my phone. The same thing is happening now. My phone's being played on. And then they playing with the police, 911 calls saying that I'm off. Let me tell y'all something. And in case that happens to me and I come up dead, I'm going to look you dead in your eye and say, I don't want to kill myself. I don't want to commit suicide. Let me make sure you see me. I haven't thought about committing suicide because of what I'm dealing with. I didn't tell another human being, and I would like them to come forward, show the call log where I called you, your name, your number, the text where I told another human being that I said yesterday, when the police get here, I'm going to be dead because I'm going to off myself. I never called anyone to say that. I never said to myself, I'm getting ready to go in here and kill myself. So when they come pick me up, they're going to kick the door open and find out I killed myself because I didn't want. They told the police that. The police they seemed concerned because they weren't screaming at me. They didn't pull the pistols out on me. They didn't tase me. They didn't threaten to do nothing to me. And the one policeman said, this is really hard for me. I'm sorry. I'm the victim and I get treated like a criminal. I'm not saying it's their fault because they didn't know. They're thinking I did this. I said to go hurt them, threatened to hurt them. So it was 5 of them. They didn't do nothing to me. I'm not going to fucking lie. They didn't do nothing to me to hurt me. They didn't threaten to hurt me. Nothing. They didn't pull no gun. Nobody. He said, do you know what they're doing to Detective Gaither right now? Nobody's telling me, so I don't know. I'm getting all my information for the police. And he said they went and found her personal information and her personal email. And they are blowing up her emails and been harassing her all day. And I said, I didn't say to do that. I'm sorry. I don't want anybody to hurt her. I don't want anybody to physically assault her. I got very upset because I don't believe that it was my supporters doing it. I believe it's people that don't like me, that wanted the police to perceive me as a threat and somebody that is wishing death upon them or telling someone else to do it and want to arrest me, basically like get me off the planet. And I said, for somebody to say I committed suicide, whoever called in wants me dead and trying to do, that's a form of black magic, speaking that against people because you want that to happen to me. You want me to do it to myself or you want somebody else to do it to me. I didn't say that. And they said, we're concerned. We're doing well. Somebody told us to do a wellness check because you told them that. And that's a motherfucking lie. If I wanted to do that, I wouldn't tell anybody. And they just find my body. Because to me, if you really want to kill yourself, why would you tell somebody you want to do that? It's a cry for help. You really don't want to do it. You were hoping somebody step in. They call the police to do a wellness check. I never said it. I wasn't even, yes, I was very depressed because he told me that in 2 hours, you're going to be arrested. Yes, I didn't want to do that. No, I don't want to go to jail. I didn't know I did anything illegal. But one thing I didn't do was tell him to threaten. I'm not talking about that part. I had nothing to do with that. And I'm sorry for that. And I believe someone else, like you said, the lady who stole my money and all this stuff going on, she did it with all these other people. If they just trace it and get the numbers, the police have the power to find out who did it and see if I was a part of it, because I wasn't. And they can track everything to see. I even told the police, I said, take my phone. I don't have a computer. I only work from my cell phone. They accused me of going to the Facebooks and Instagram. I didn't even know she was on the Facebook and Instagram because I didn't go look. They accused me of doing it. And I said, I know that this is stupid, what I'm getting ready to do. I know I put myself in a position to get charged with more crimes by giving you my cell phone. And I'm telling you, you could go through all my personal shit. Because if I downloaded it, it will be on my cell phone, both of my cell phones, because I don't use a computer. I do downloads, uploads, everything on my phone. So if I did it, take the phone. And he took the phone at first when I went and I said, this is my son's email. This is what this is about. And this is my case number. But he already knew. I guess he wanted to see what I was going to say, or was I okay in the head? Because first he asked me, do you want to hurt yourself? Do you need treatment? Are you okay? And everybody, the other police was standing there looking like, are you okay? I said, yes, I can talk. And he's like, Alexis, come outside so we can talk. I just really want to talk to you. And I said, officer, I can't because I'm not dressed. I don't have shoes on, and I kicked my foot up. I opened the screen door. I said, I'm barefoot. These are my night clothes. I work from home, so I don't have to dress up every day inside the house, and I don't leave the house. I was like, I don't even have on any underwear. I don't have anything on, but I came downstairs because I know the police knock. So even though I was half naked, I knew to open the door because I knew no matter how bad I wanted to, I wasn't going to run. I wasn't going to try to get out the back door. And even though I was half dressed, I knew that I still better open the door. So I said, I knew to open the door because the sergeant told me y'all were going to come get me. And I did everything he asked me to do. And he told me I better take it down. I got 2 hours to take it down. And he was already all in my ass. He was on all my YouTube. He was on all the Instagram. He's on the Facebook. He said it's still up on Instagram. He said, what is it? The Alexis K. Tyler _ vagina power. That's you, isn't it? I said, yes, sir. And I just took it down. He said, okay, that's down. He said, wait a minute. Who is this AKT drip squad? I said, that's not me. I don't know who that is. I don't have a password. I can try to contact the person and that's going to take it down. But it's not my account. He said, I don't care that it's not your account. You're still going to go down. Even if you don't know who it is. And the fact that they did it and my officer's name and the pictures up there, you're going to find out. I don't care if you don't know him. It's still your business to get it down. It's all on you. You got 2 hours. He at first read me a cease and desist. And he said, I really didn't want to do this to you. I really hate that I'm doing this to you. He said, I'm giving you over the phone. You now have a cease and desist. Now all eyes on you. You're getting ready to go down. And I listened and he read it. I listened as he read it. I didn't interfere. And then he said, this is what you're going to do. He said, they're blowing up the phones. It's so many. He's like, you're going to make it stop. You're going to make it stop. You're going to make it stop now. But that's not the way he said it. He was screaming like if he could get to me. I'm not saying he would really do it, but that's like, felt like he really, really wanted to tear me a new one. So I listened. I said, I will do what you say. I didn't do this. I'm sorry it came to this. This was not my intention. What do I need to do to fix? He said, oh, yeah, he started telling me you're going to do this, and that. You got 2 hours or a warrant's going to be issued. He said, I probably still will issue a warrant for you because I can't believe you did it. And I said, I didn't. Would you please investigate? I didn't. I don't know who did it. He said, it doesn't matter. This is all because of you. They're doing it because of you. And you have the power. They would clearly do what you say. You better tell them to stand down now. Or get ready today, because this is what's going to happen to you. So, y'all know I did it. I contacted the owner of the page. They didn't argue with me. They took it down. I asked the sergeant to please look, verify it. He said it's all down. I immediately got on the YouTube. He said, you're going to go on YouTube and you better tell them stand down now. Because if they don't, you're going to jail. They're not going to jail. You're going to jail. And when I talked to my attorney today, he was basically saying, look, did you tell? I said, I didn't. I didn't tell anybody that hurt a law enforcement officer or threatened to do it. That wasn't me. I don't know who it is. And he was just like, you really don't want to engage in anything negative and be seen as negative by them. So at this point, just walk away. And I said, that's fine. He said, there are other ways that you can handle this. And he started telling me how to handle it. And I said, okay. It's because you're probably not liked. They don't like you at this point. And whether you said you did it or not, they don't like you. And I said, well, I was hoping it wouldn't come to that. But when he said it, he knows law better than me. He's dealt with law enforcement and criminals and all that. He said, just walk away because they don't like you, and they're going to deliberately do this, that. And I said, okay. That's why, even though I tried to say it wasn't me, and then the officer said they're harassing the detective, I said, I never told nobody to do that. And I'm very sorry that happened to her. I don't know if it's true, but people, see, I don't know who my fans are, but I realize a lot of these people are very intelligent, in law enforcement themselves, or have relatives that are in law enforcement, are lawyers. Some of the people are doctors. I know because when I started off in 2007, it was young people that loved me. So they were in college, and I spoke at Spelman. And when I came there, they were in the middle of their education, and they were telling me the fields they were in. And something I thought was so beautiful, I did not know that I had an influence on people that were getting educated in all walks of life, preachers, teachers, doctors, lawyers. I had a legal issue a few years ago, and it was about my trademark. Excuse me. I saw an attorney, I think, advertising on the internet. I don't know if it was YouTube or Facebook. I called him. He was like, yes, Alexis, I would love to talk to you about your case and give you a free consultation. As we're talking, and he says, do you know that I was in college when I was watching you, and you helped me get through, and you made me laugh? He said, now I'm an attorney, and if it's anything you need, I will help you. If I can help you, and I said, wow. He said, I still watch you. You still crack me up. I just want to tell you how much you meant to me, and I'm here, and I was studying, and now I'm a lawyer. Or I talk to people, now I'm a doctor. If you need anything, and I'm just like, wow. People in professional people watch Vagina Power. And there's some of them knew me when they're like, I was in high school. I went to college. I went to, medical school. I'm an accountant. I'm a teacher. I'm a professor. My students watch you in college. We did a paper on you in college. And I'm like, y'all did a paper on Alexis K. Tyler, Vagina Power? Yes, you're very thought-provoking, and we had lectures, and we had debates back and forth. So that also pertains to my supporters. I have a wide range of people from all walks of life, all ethnic groups, races, national origin, religions, ages, all this stuff, incomes. And I don't know what they know. And now I do. A group not to be played with. I didn't know you all were pressure. Didn't know. I know people fight for who they love, and they believe they've been violated. But you all are very intelligent. I don't know your names. I don't know your face. I don't know you, but you know me, because you, probably for different reasons in your professions, you don't put your real face. You don't put your real name. I get it. Some supporters told me, which made me feel bad too, because I never wanted that. Even though we didn't get along, I didn't think it's a good fit. I didn't want anybody to hurt her. There was never a thought in my head. Harass her. I never said do that. Of course, I said ask for justice, investigate, and send the screenshots to prove that I was telling the truth. But I don't want her hurt or her family hurt. And I don't like that some people, I don't know who did it, please, I hope you're not doing it. I hope you stop. Because then I'm going to get in trouble. They're going to think I told you to do it. I don't want her harassed. Y'all got her personal information. Now somebody's telling me that she's the first lady of a church. I don't know. People said they found she's a first lady of a church, and her husband is a preacher out here in Lithonia, Georgia. I don't know. So I'm not going to say I know for a fact. That's what I was told, and I was shown the information. I don't know. I didn't look. I don't want to be accused. Now I'm looking her up or stalking her. I have no interest in that. I have no interest in any contact. I don't want no more disagreements. I don't want to be seen as disrespectful to her. That's not my intention. Y'all have found this stuff. Please, if somebody is listening, I'm sorry, I'm still not completely over my cough from my flu. Please don't do that. If you did it, stop. And I could see in the officer's eyes, he was hurt by it. I looked at the other officers and I know they blame me. I do take responsibility for telling them to call and speak to her. And I know it doesn't matter if I don't take responsibility for the other shit they did, but I really didn't order anybody to do that. That's not what I wanted. And when he told me that, he said, do you know what's happening right now? I'm like, I don't. Nobody's telling me anything. So when he started telling me, and I was like, I didn't know. It's like this side of me. I didn't know. And that's not what I wanted to happen. And I'm sorry, and I don't want it to happen. But I had already done the video to say, stand down. And I guess everybody did, because I didn't get calls waking me up at 8. Both of them, the sergeants were, and clearly they can carry it out. They were saying, this is what's going to happen to you. I'm going to do this to you because you did this to my officer. And I'm like, I didn't mean to do that. The way it's turned out, it's not what I wanted to turn out. And then the other one was, the second sergeant was worse than the first one. And everything he said, I could tell he was really angry with me. He's like, this is all your fault. And I said, okay. How can I fix it? And he started telling you, you're going to do this, and you got 2 hours. You're going down. Your ass is going down. He didn't cuss me. I'm just saying, your ass is grass, goddammit, and I'm the lawnmower. And this motherfucker, I'm going to run your ass down, goddammit. You ain't finna pull this fucking shit out here, no goddamn where else when I finish with you. That's basically, he didn't say those words, it's my words, but that's basically, he throwed it, and I caught everything he was throwing. And I had to pick up. I knew I was gonna be fucked up, goddammit. So I did, as y'all see, I did. And then the officer told me, the one that said she's been harassed, and I said I did what I could to make it stop. I followed the order, and they knew I followed the order before they got here. And they said they had been watching my videos, and I said, did it sound to you? Maybe I'm not remembering. Did you hear me say I wanted the officers threatened and harassed? He said, lift his shoulders. He said, I didn't hear it. It didn't sound like that to me. You did tell him to call. It was a call to action, but you didn't say that. You didn't tell you want an officer hurt. You want officers threatened if they don't do this and they don't do that. It's like we have been watching you, and we have watched your videos. And so I looked at the other officers and I was like, shit. Now, all of y'all know me and you've been watching. I don't know what they saw. I know they listened to that video. I don't know what other videos they watched, but they made it very clear. Yeah. Yeah, bitch, you wanted our attention, undivided attention. Now your ass got it. So I said, well, he said, do you know that it's illegal to, I hope I'm not doing anything wrong by telling the story. I'm trying to tell it, trying to remember, tell it correctly. And I'm not trying to cause a problem. And I'm not asking you to do nothing. I'm just telling you how the day went yesterday. And I feel really, really bad about it. He said, do you realize it's illegal to go on Facebook, to go on Instagram, to go on any social media and take pictures off? I said, no. I never knew it was illegal because it's already in public. So I'm not the only one that can see it. Everybody can see it, and everybody else could take pictures, and maybe you just don't know. They took pictures, but I didn't know that was illegal. And I said, however, I didn't do it. I never saw a Facebook. I never even tried to research her and look her up. When I sent her the email after she said she didn't have Instagram and she didn't go on there, I did send her email, no profanity, no disrespect. I put the pictures from Instagram and Facebook. But what I told him was, and then I offered again, take my phone. I didn't download it. You can look at my history. I didn't erase my history. You can see if I went there and did it. And I said, I never seen it. The only thing I seen is the pictures. Some of my supporters got it. And I don't know all of them because, as you know, like I said earlier, a lot of you are professional people and people probably wouldn't think it, but we don't see your face. We don't see your real name. You might have a cartoon character up there or something like that. So when the person sent it to me, I didn't see their real name. I don't, you said big, I just lost I'm sorry, you lost your wife. I don't know. Hey, L, patent pending. I love that. Thank you. I see someone is here and deleting them. Cool. We'll let them do that tonight. As long as you can hear me and hear the message. I said I did not do that. Some of my followers sent it to me. I got the information. Yes, I received it from followers, but I did not go on the pages. I didn't know they were there. I didn't know she was there. He said, and he kind of looked at me. He said, so you didn't do it? I said, no, you can take my phone. I didn't do it. I didn't download it. You popped up. I didn't know you were coming. So, and even if I did erase it, you could subpoena the phone records and see or where I went. I'm sure it's a way you can look through the internet and you can see where I've been. They have all the technology to do it. And I said, well, you can have my phone. I didn't erase nothing. You could see. I ain't even know nothing about the page. I have a lot of followers. He's like, oh, yeah, we know. Oh, yeah, we know. And I was like, wow. I mean, what the fuck has happened? What do you know that I don't know? To know that I have a lot of followers. And I said, I didn't do that. I said, I did share it. I ain't gonna lie. I shared this shit, but I didn't know it was there. I know she was there. But I can't deny I shared it. You saw I shared it. I admit I shared it. But I didn't know it was illegal to share it. And then he said, I know you didn't know because can y'all please tell me, did I miss it? When you go to law enforcement, Facebook, Instagram pages, I never seen a sign that says it's illegal to look at their page, see an officer, and you want to take a picture and copy it. You can't. It's against the law to take the picture. But this is what I found out. That's why I feel bad about it, because I don't know the law. And I didn't know that when they took it and gave it to me, and I was saying about the bad conversation we had. Okay, when we Googled it, this looks like this. And basically the attorney agreed. Even if you have good intentions, it's not illegal to take a photo of a law enforcement page of officers that are public on the page. However, if you take, and I'm not going to find out because I never took no picture and I ain't been over there and I'm not going to. If you take a picture, a public picture of law enforcement on their public pages where you can see the officers and see their names, and then you use the picture or you post the picture and someone decides to use it, which it looks like what I did, to harass them, now it's illegal because it's not taken like in a positive light. It's taken in a negative light. And someone said yesterday, might have been a female, looked like a female. They said, that's why I feel so bad about it because I didn't know. And I didn't know they were taking it to prove my point. When she said she didn't have those pages, it was my responsibility to investigate, not hers. I just showed her that I know that you're not telling the truth. Here you are right here. That's all. I didn't make any threats. I didn't curse her. I just said, you said it was my responsibility, but I'm not the detective. I don't know, and I don't have the power that you have to subpoena and look at things. She then took that and got very upset with me. Next thing you know, the next day, I'm getting the call, which was yesterday, from the sergeant. He's going off on me. He's saying I'm wrong. People are blowing up the phone. I'm getting ready to have a lot of legal troubles, and I didn't know that I did anything wrong, but I didn't know they were calling and harassing either, and had been blowing it up all night long and all day long. I'm talking, it was 8 o'clock in the morning. He said it was blowing it up then. I didn't know. And then so I that's when I told y'all yesterday, I'm like, I don't know my rights. I don't know the law in Georgia, and I need to call an attorney, and or several. I called several because I wanted to get different ones' opinions that knew Georgia law and worked in Georgia, and it felt like this was going to be a criminal case. And so I felt like I needed to know if I did something wrong or if I didn't. They all said the same thing, and I didn't know. And they were like, this is not what you want to do. And I said, I complied, and I had everything taken down. But someone, because I didn't know, and I didn't know they were going to do that, and I looked at the officer and I said, I didn't know they were going to do that, and I didn't tell them to do that, and I'm sorry. I really didn't know I was breaking the law, and the way it flipped, and it looked like I was being negative and told them to harass her. It really made me look fucked up. That's why I wanted to know my rights. And even if they were lying to me, I still, whatever they told me to do, I was going to comply, because I don't want no problems with law enforcement. And I was very respectful, and I did everything they said. And they, as I was doing it, they were verifying to see I was not lying. This one person, excuse me, like a female, she said, oh, they just fucking with you. The police just fucking you around. They're lying to you. You didn't do anything. They can't do nothing. I said, look, you're not me. You're not here. I'm by myself. So I have to, what y'all did and what y'all said, and it looked like even though I told you to call, it went left, and people that I don't know start then threatening them, and it still looks like I did it, and I'm going to suffer by myself. So you're telling me to defy them. They're lying to me. And now I found today they weren't lying. The sergeants were not lying. I wouldn't pay attention, something to that effect. I wouldn't worry about it. I wouldn't do nothing they say. I said, you know what? You can't tell me what the fuck. I'm not listening to shit you say, because I'm here alone. And if that happens to me, you're not finna take no collect calls. I don't even know you. I don't even know your fucking phone number. So you don't have me a number to call. You probably don't donate. You're not gonna give me a lawyer in there. You're not gonna help me buy no ramen noodles and no goddamn it hard peanut butter crackers out the goddamn vending machine and the Coca-Cola. You're telling me to defy the police. And when I defy them, whether they're lying or not, I think it's still a way that even if they don't have nothing on you, if they want to, they can hold you. Especially being disrespectful. I didn't comply to them. Then I'm talking shit on the phone. They could have easily said, oh, really? You ain't gonna do this? You talking shit? And then it's like, lock that bitch up. I ain't even got time for this. Lock that bitch up. I knew not to do that. And I said, you're not gonna come get me out, and you're not gonna get me an attorney. So why would I listen to you tell me to defy their orders, whether they are exaggerating or lying or not? Who cares? This is law enforcement in Georgia. So whatever they tell me to do, I did it. Because y'all nigga bitches and say y'all said all this shit, but is y'all gonna come down here and help me? No. Y'all sit there, I follow y'all bad advice, and I listen to that shit, and I get my life fucked up, and all y'all gonna do is sit up and laugh and get you some popcorn and watch the show. Well, that's what the bitch get. The bitch did to herself. No. Y'all nigga motherfuckers can't tell me nothing. Unless you're in law enforcement and unless you're an attorney versed in this type of issue, and you're going to counsel me and you're going to help me, I don't want to hear nothing you nigga motherfuckers gotta say. Because I'm the one that's got to deal with the consequences of what I said to call and ask for help and send the receipts. And then it went left and got all fucked up. I was the one that had to take that shit by myself. And I have to accept responsibility for that. So that's what I did. That's why I'm just telling y'all the truth about what went down, and I'm asking, please. I haven't heard anything today. I haven't been threatened today. I don't know if something else is going to come up. I don't want it to. That's why I comply like, would y'all please stop? As long as they see that I ask people to stand down. If somebody's still making threats, I hope they investigate it and don't pin it on me, because that's not what I want. That's why I'm coming live, so you can see me. And I didn't know, people probably gonna say I'm lying, but I didn't know that many people love me. They didn't tell me how many calls. I just know that the sergeants were so angry and they were screaming. And I think I saw the picture when there's two white men. And those are the ones that were screaming at me. The other police that came, they didn't scream at me. They didn't get up in my face. They didn't hit me, like I said. They weren't aggressive. They weren't condescending. They weren't accusatory in the way they asked me questions. The energy was different than the way I was treated with detective. I'm not trying to start no shit. I'm just saying, the way they handled me and they handled the situation, I didn't feel like they're up here and like I'm a piece of trash all the way down here. I didn't feel that energy coming from them. And y'all know me. I'm not going to lie and say that the police were good to me and they just disrespected me. That didn't happen. Before I lie, I won't say anything at all. So I'm really grateful for how the DeKalb County Police treated me, but I guess I had it coming for the sergeants to be so mad at me. And then he mentioned the sergeant's name. I'm not gonna say it on here, but he mentioned the sergeant's name, and he said, I know who you're talking about. And yes, he did. He did say that, and was talking about locking you up. And I said, well, I know that that's why you're here. Oh, are you gonna give me a chance to put my clothes on? And he was like, no, initially we're doing a wellness check. Somebody told us to do a wellness check. And I said, okay. And I know I'm in trouble. So after that, you see I'm okay. I didn't kill myself. So you gonna let me get ready to go? Because I know that y'all are really mad at me. He said, for now, we just gonna watch everything. I said, okay. They said, don't do that again. Don't pull that again. Because we know you didn't know that was illegal. And he's just like, but basically the way he said it was, it's still open on me. And I'm on the radar. And I totally understand. Especially when I talked to the attorney. And I was saying, but what about it? He said, just be quiet and listen to me and let me finish. Okay. He started running it down. So, okay. So I am technically, he's like, yeah, you're technically responsible. I stayed calm. Okay, because I didn't know the law. I didn't know what I did. And that's not what I said. He said, it doesn't matter. Because somebody did that on your behalf, it still looks like you are a problem. You're a trouble. You're an antagonist. That's what scares me the most, y'all. That's what scares me the most. Do you know why? I don't want to say it, but I'm going to say it. All of the people that are considered just because you're different and you speak up, even if it's something wrong, but nobody is speaking up and they suffer in silence, and then you speak out and people react, you are now seen as like an enemy of the state. And I'm sure y'all understand where I'm going. You know what happens to them, right? And you do know. Either they are jailed for the rest of their life or they are murdered. Even if you didn't mean that and you don't want to be that, because you go against the grain and then other people that scares me more than anything. Now I'm seen as an enemy, as a problem. And you know what happens to people throughout history that are considered that way. And now that's how I'm looked at. So I'm not saying I know you all understand what I'm saying. I don't want to be here anymore. Not in this area, not on here. Y'all see all the things that I've gone through and what people have tried to do to me, and how I had to always fight, and then I was looked at as a bad person and an antagonist because I just didn't lay down and be a victim, and I wanted to fight and I wanted to get justice, and I know I've been done wrong. You know this woman did me wrong. And now she's begging for PayPals and Zelles as if she's the victim when she stole from me and saying, I'm jealous of her light and her favor, but you're a thief. So she has favor with God and she has a light that I'm jealous of. Why did you steal from me instead of me stealing from you? And what else am I jealous of? Your physical appearance, your face, your hair, your body? I'm not. There's nothing about you I want to be, especially a woman with no honor and no integrity that violates the trust of someone who was very, very sick at the time and you stole from me. You stole from me. And now you're a psychic medium, you speak to the dead, and you cook, place the food out. I mean, all the stuff that I do, you are now that. I never knew she was a psychic medium. So why did you steal from me? Because I have evidence that you did it. I have evidence that you called my doctor's office to pay the insurance company. DeKalb back, told the bank you didn't know me, you didn't know the company, you don't know who this is, Lexus K. Tyler person, and she's been paying my bill to the same company, y'all, since last year. And then you steal the money back that you said was your money, but it was my money, and then you pretend to be me so that I could lose my insurance benefits. But you have light and favor. And I'm jealous of it. There's nothing about you, face, hair, body, nothing, inside or outside. I mean, I can't imagine, because I'm not a thief. I never stole anything from her, but I'm jealous of her light and favor, and that's why she stole from me. Okay. Please, the math ain't mathing, and make it make sense. But you're spiritual, the spirits walk with you, you have honor and integrity, but you're a thief and a liar. If I'm lying, all she has to do is show proof I'm lying. All she has to do is call the police and tell them I'm lying and show proof that I'm lying. Because that's what they want to see. That's the only thing police are going to go on, receipts, and they're going to investigate it. And I gave them plenty. It's up to them if they decide to investigate. I'm not going to even be aggressive about it at this point. I'm just tired of being the one of being fucked over. And then I'm wrong when I decide to stand up and fight. So because of that, and someone said they weren't donating to me. That's another thing I want to address. Well, let me get this straight. You gave someone you don't know and you didn't meet your bank account and they stole your money and you want us to trust you with our money. I never gave anybody a bank account, so I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. It was a Cash App. And I never said I gave nobody a bank account because I don't have one to give her and she doesn't have one of mine. I said she's put into her bank account and then commingling with her retarded brother's Social Security check, and she was stealing from both of us. See, now I know that's why she would go hard and cuss y'all out to give in the goddamn chat at night because she need to pay her goddamn mortgage with my motherfucking money. So she's telling me she's stealing my money, her brother's money. My son even told me the other night, and I don't know why he didn't tell me sooner, when she, like I had said before, she was sending him money. He said, Mama, and I just thought about it. It was from your Cash App. And she told my son, oh, we both put money in this account. We share money so I can spend what I want. She never put money into that account. It was all mine. And I'm going to say this. If you all don't want to support me, just because I told you the truth about what happened to me when I've been sick for so many years, over 10 years, housebound. You know, when my son came and picked me up and took me to eat, you know, I haven't been in a car and had a car ride since last April when she ordered me an Uber. I haven't even been outside in the sun. I haven't even physically been to a restaurant to get food. I had to get my stuff from Instacart or order from the restaurant and they deliver it. That's the first time I've been in a car and outside and ride around in the sun and in the expressway in a year, because that's how sick I was and how swollen I was and all these skin infections and chemical burns in the mouth, the face, and everything. And yes, I did trust someone, but I met her in 2019. I didn't trust her to handle my Cash App. I had one at the time. I let her handle my Facebook because it was about Nipsey and the readings. I went really hard with the readings on Facebook. Y'all can check that out and verify it. I talked to Mina Crowley for about 2 years, even though I didn't meet her. And y'all are not going to say it publicly, but a lot of y'all been fucked too by trusting the wrong person. You're just not going to tell me, and you're not going to say it publicly. I felt obligated to tell you publicly because I do my show publicly. It's a public platform. We deal with a lot of real things. And I've told you a lot of things I've gone through in the past. And a lot of people that have been riding with me a long time that support me have been there. But I'm going to say something to you, and I'm dead ass serious at this point. Because I told you the truth about what happened, and I felt obligated to tell you the truth about what happened. And I asked for your support. And if you choose not to donate to me, because I told you what happened to me when I was extremely ill and almost died a couple of times and could barely stand up and could barely take care of myself, but I still stumbled up to do it. And I have anybody come, and I have boxes everywhere because I was too weak to lift them and move them around. No, it's not dirty in that sense, as far as like there are no roaches or anything like that. There's no old food here. It's just storage of all my things that were packed up when I thought I was going to have to leave, when my ex basically fucked me over. So, because I told you that, like this, I think it was a female. Why should we help you when you let someone do that to you? And my response to you is a question with a question. Why should I use my body and mind when that's the instrument and the medium that the spirits move through, and I'm already dealing with enough hell and enough stress? Why should I collect information that you don't know and that you can't see and give that to you for free and do everything and answer all your questions about who's dead, why they dead, when they died, who shot, what celebrity this and what celebrity that. I'm supposed to sit here and be obligated to give you my hard-earned knowledge and research it in the spirit for you for free because you don't trust me. So you say, oh, I'm not giving you nothing, but I'm supposed to trust you and still give you everything for nothing. It's not going to happen. And if you don't want to help me, you don't want to donate to me, it's no hard feelings because she did that. And I told you that she did that. And I guess you'd rather me not tell you. So, and then to say you lost respect for me because I told you what happened to me, that I couldn't help when I was very, very ill and I couldn't leave my house. I couldn't pay my bills and take care of myself. I needed someone to help me. And they were skimming off my money and spending it to try to buy dick from my son. So she's saying she gave him all this money. And now I know, yeah, you were giving him my money. Trying to buy dick, you know. And having him table dance like he got them a bitch over there at Magic City. That's fine. I'm not angry with you. However, I don't have to let you disrespect me. If you don't have respect for me, that's fine. I can't make you have respect for me. I thought you would because I told you the truth about what's going on and what's happening and what I now have to deal with. But if you don't, because I'm saying someone took advantage of my trust and locked me out of the account the first day they created it. And I knew them like 2 to 3 years before I let them handle it. It's not like I met her in 2019 with Nipsey said, oh, yeah, just take it. I never, ever let anybody handle any money that y'all gave me. I was just so sick and I needed it. But it doesn't fucking matter. If that's how you feel about me and you choose not to donate to me, because as I said, and as you already know, a lot of these people, my views and my account is censored. They will not make me a member. They will not make me a partner so that I can be eligible for commercials or even to have the, what do they call that when they do the lives and what do they call the YouTube thing? They get the money. I forgot the name that they call it. I'm not eligible for any of that stuff because they will not make me a partner. And they say I curse, but the other psychics curse too. And other people have channels that curse worse than me and say things that they censor me for, but yet they monetize them and they let them have a lot of hits and they suppress my hits. So I asked for donations, but where I am in my life, and because I have gone through this all my life, I'm willing to leave. And I'll find other work before I let y'all feel like you can disrespect me too and fuck me over and still expect me to entertain you with my knowledge that you don't know and use me like I'm a piece of shit. I'm at the age now, I've been through this my whole life. It doesn't even matter to me. Nothing matters to me no more. And ain't nobody fucking over me no more. And I'm not gonna let nobody do it and get away with it. So if you think you're going to do it, you want to watch me, you want to get my knowledge, you want to get my information, and you feel like you should get it for free and I'm just supposed to do it. What am I, your whore? I don't know. I don't know what some of you people think. And you think you just disrespect me because I'm telling you what happened to me and I'm asking you for support. And I'm not talking about the ones that don't. I'm talking about the ones that do, that have always been there to support me. And I'm handling this to the best of my ability. And you feel like because you feel some type of way because that happened to me. And you feel like now you can disrespect me. But I'm still supposed to get up here every week and tell you current events and tell you what happened to this person, what happened to that person. I'm done. If you're done with me, then I'm done with you. But the mistreatment of me stops right now. The disrespect of me, you can think what you want to say. I said what happened. I can't take it back. I don't feel bad that I said what happened because it's the truth and I told the truth. So if you disrespect me because I told you the truth and somebody stole from me that I trusted, it's okay. You won't be seeing me much after tonight.
That's why I wanted to address you. Sure, I might come on and show my products. I have a sale on my products right now. I love my products. I will promote my products. But the stuff that you want to know, like this lady that came on here last night and said, did you say that if I want you, I think it's an athlete or something. And I briefly looked at the person when she showed the name. She said it was a Sagittarius, and he went on a police check. The police went on a chase with him. Excuse me. The police say he killed himself. He shot himself. The lady said, I don't know if it's just her or someone else thinks the police murdered him. And then they said he shot himself. I don't know. Now I'm not going to find out. I'm not going to do the reading. And I told her, and I reiterated last night, yes, I told you, if it's a donation request, you must give a donation. I'm not a dog. I'm not your show puppy, your show pony, nothing like that. You can't just come up and expect me like some kind of animal to jump when you say jump and do things. I have to piss, shit, wash my ass, eat food, have a clean place to stay and electricity, just like you. And she seemed like she had an attitude. I don't give a fuck. Because I don't owe you nothing because you don't do nothing for me. And I bet you never donated. But one thing you're not going to do is give me orders. I want to know what happened to this person. I think the police did it. And a lot of times the police ain't killing these motherfuckers. Because yes, they do a lot of them. But they don't do all of them. And I never supported any movement that get rid of the police and in this state, that state. I ain't with that shit. I ain't never been with it. I don't care what some of the bad ones have done. I've never disrespected them or wanted to get rid of them. I don't. What the fuck you gonna do? If you don't have them, you better have a damn good replacement because you're gonna be in trouble. Because you can't defend yourself against all these enemies, especially when they know the police are not watching. So, but I did briefly Google the name when she told me. I saw the young man. I think he had just gotten some type of sports contractor he was getting ready to that's worth millions of dollars. And they said in Louisiana, I think it was Louisiana, he was speeding, I guess in some type of really fast, expensive sports car, weaving in and out of traffic. He hit and killed an elderly man or possibly killed an elderly couple. Okay, the police didn't do that. If this is true, what they're reporting, he did that to himself. So I don't think he had been, excuse me, tried, or I don't think it was a trial yet. He might have been arrested and was out on bond, and then they chased him. I don't know if it was about the same thing or if it was something else he did. That's all I know, because I didn't dig further. When I saw that little bit and I saw his face, then things started coming to me, and I said, I don't believe, and I could be wrong because I haven't delved into it deeper. And then she comes on the live like, you're going to confront me. Confront me about what? My gift? My choice to say yes or no? It's a no. Especially you didn't donate a dime, and you feel like entitled, like y'all could just do me like that. But I guess y'all do a lot of psychics like that. But like I said, a lot of them have a lot more hits than me. They're partners. They make more money than me. They super chat. That's what a super chat. They're allowed to get super chats, even though they have to pay maybe 30% of that every year for taxes. YouTube take their cut. They get their cut. Then they pay their taxes out of their cut. They still have the option to get it. I don't. So that's why a lot of them don't ask you for donations, because they have so many subscribers. They're getting paid off of that. They're getting paid because they're partners. Every time a commercial is on their channel, they get a certain amount of money for that. I don't know how much it is, but hell, it adds up when you are given those privileges. I don't have them. And it's clear a lot of you don't care. And you still want me to do this, that. I mean, even during this period when I'm going through hell, I could possibly lose my life and my freedom. And, oh, can you do this for free? Well, now I have legal issues to take care of. So that tells me if I get arrested and something happens to me, these same motherfuckers that want me to just, oh, what happened to this person? Oh, what happened to that celebrity? And you don't want to give a donation and she didn't send one. So you don't send me nothing, you get nothing. That tells me right there, something happened to me, you won't help me. So now I'm not going to help people that won't help me. I'm done. Y'all done with me? I'm done with you. You don't want to donate to me. You don't want to support me, but you want the readings and all that. I'm done. Especially after yesterday, I could have died. I could have been in prison and dead. And to the comment yesterday, and I saw that. So that's how a lot of you feel. I'm still not sorry for telling you the truth about what happened. I'm sorry that you look down on me or that you think I'm less than because it happened to me. But if it hasn't happened to a lot of you and you're just not telling it, it will happen to you. Especially the ones that judge me. We'll just never know because you'll be too embarrassed to fucking say it. It's cool because, I've been out here almost 20 years, maybe, and I was out here pounding the pavement, getting out of the mud years before I was rejected and treated like shit in the Bible Belt down here. Do y'all hear that? Whoa, something happened out here. Sounds like an ambulance and the police. Oh my God. There's always stuff going on over here. I've been here 20 years anyway, and it hasn't been a good run. It's been a bad run. I've suffered enough, and I don't want to suffer anymore. I see this is not for me. I'm not going to go where I want to go inside the industry with the Alexis K. Tyler Vagina Power Show. Spiritual sexuality is not going to go nowhere. I've accepted that, and I'm not going to take any more abuse or mistreatment. It just is what it is. It's clear that it wasn't meant to be, and I need to find someone else. And even on YouTube, it wasn't meant to be. All the abuse and everything I've gone through, the lies have been told on me. I don't want to deal with it anymore. I'm not going to deal with it anymore. I'll find something else to do. So if that's how you feel, I've been thinking about it, and that's the conclusion that I've come to. And I wanted to be on camera and say it to you. It's okay. So the ones that support me, donate, want me to continue to do the work, I love you, and I will support you back. And if you want private readings from me, I will still do them. You want me to make products, I will still do it. But overall, I have these people put comments like that and disrespect me, but then you're still watching. You're still tuning in, and you want something from me for nothing and say, I don't think I should give it to you, but you want me to continue to give it to you. It's done. I'm done. I just, anyway, I love you all that love me, okay? I support you all that support me. And I always will. But I'm not going to take any abuse from anybody anymore. I've taken enough. And attacks and lying and stealing from me. I should have cut this off a long time ago. And now with this happening, really over my eyes, I don't have nobody. Yes, people called in and they support, but I don't know them. I don't hear from them. I don't see them. I don't know their name. If something happened to me right now, I can't even call them. It's out to me like that. And I'm always reaching out to other people. After this, it really showed me I have really nobody. Sure, people call in and they support me, but I don't know you. I don't see you. I can't touch you. You don't reach out to me. You don't touch me. And if something happens, I don't know who you are. I don't know where to find you. I don't know how to tell anybody to get in touch with you. And you don't have to. I'm not asking you to do that to prove anything, because you already proved you got my back. The invisible ones, they have a lot of power and a lot of knowledge. And I'm grateful for you. Y'all don't say things like that to me, but other people are saying it. And I noticed I have not gotten any support lately. I think I should have bowed out a long time ago, just like I should have left a 20-year relationship with abuse and all types of things that were done to me. I was one of those types of people, and I learned you don't be loyal when people are not loyal to you. You don't keep agreements to stay with someone forever and stick in there with them. When they break the agreement, they start dogging you out, disrespecting you, taking things from you, trashing you. You're not obligated to stay. Even if you have kids, the kids know that everything's not good and you're unhappy. Sometimes it's best for you to separate or divorce, and you all have joint custody. You take care of them. You pay your child support. You pay your alimony, because you're not good together. And some people, for religious reasons, for family reasons, and they push this stuff down, and they're killing themselves, and they're drinking and having other addictions. A lot of men, because they don't have the courage to stand up for themselves, because they don't want their family to be upset. They don't want their church to be upset. all these other people and you're dying inside to please them, and they're doing everything they want to do. And your wife treats you like shit. Your husband treats you like shit. You know, I'm learning now, don't drag stuff out when you're being disrespected and abused. Leave. Because you're no longer obligated. It takes two people to make a contract. And when one person violates it or breaks it, it's no longer a valid legal contract because one person is not honoring it, and it's two meetings of the minds. And that's what I've learned. It took a lot for me to not feel that way and feel like this is the right thing Jesus wants and Jesus will fix it. No. I'm not letting people play with me and waste my life. A lot of my life is gone. And it's been wasted trying to be good and getting screwed and still stay and still take it. I'm not going to take it from anybody, publicly or privately. I can't see you because unfortunately this coward is in the chat erasing things, but you can hear me. And don't worry, we're going to take care of it. And I'm going to also give you the link to my Instagram page, the new one, so you can come over there and we can talk over there, and the one I got back. And that's just where I am now. I work out all the details and I'll let you know. And I've just been spending a lot of time talking to God and soul searching. And make the rest of my decision. But I love you. I want to see you and spend some time with you. And I'll talk to you soon.